When I first started buying cryptocurrency back in 2016, I really didn't have any idea about what I was doing. I would randomly throw a couple of $100 into random cryptocurrencies and hope for the best, when I should have probably done some research and looked into the projects I was investing in, because if I did, I probably would have made some significant returns. So today, I'm going to do what I should have done all of those years ago, and I'm going to be taking you along for the ride with me to put the plan in place that I should have done and how I should have approached investing in cryptocurrency. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I'm going to be taking you through how I would structure an investment into crypto if I only had $100, $1,000, and $10,000, and why I would do it this way. Just as a quick recap, I am running a giveaway where I'll be giving away $100 worth of Bitcoin to a random winner at the end of March to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. Now 2,000, which is crazy, so welcome to all of the new faces. On top of that, if you would like to enter in this competition, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below about what your favorite cryptocurrency is and why. Also, please just remember that what I'm about to take you through is entirely my opinion. At the end of the day, it is up to you to come to your own conclusion about how you should invest in cryptocurrency or invest in anything really. Just use this as an information source to help you with your process if it is something that you are planning to do. And before we break these down, there is one very important question you need to answer, or at least take into consideration, and that is, what is your plan? Are you planning to buy cryptocurrency to hold for the long term? Or are you planning to day trade to build your portfolio or build the value of your portfolio? Holding your investment long term brings its own risks. It brings a risk of nothing really changing and it kind of stagnating or never actually multiplying whatsoever, and also going down too. If you hold an investment for multiple decades, we're talking like 30 years, and it doesn't multiply significantly, you've kind of just wasted a lot of time. That money has sat there and not really done anything, not really worked for you. So that's the risk of holding long term. Whereas with cryptocurrency in particular, if you were planning on day trading, you are essentially going to be gambling. The market is so incredibly volatile at the moment that realistically, after you take into account things like fees, transaction fees after buying and selling so frequently, making sure that you pay your tax on any gains you make, and then being able to stomach massive drops in the market, and then the biggest commitment out of all of it is keeping up with the charts and analytics of each cryptocurrency and the news stories that come out with them. It is a massive commitment and something that is going to be incredibly difficult to pull off successfully. Regardless of the method of investing that you pick, whether it be day trading or long-term holding, it is so important to have an idea or a structure or a plan in place, because it will affect how you do your research and how you manage your portfolio. So with that out of the way, let's start with $100. What the hell is $100 going to bring you in returns if you invest it into crypto? Well, if you had invested $100 into Bitcoin in 2013, you would have approximately 1 Bitcoin, which at the time of recording this video is valued at about 50,000 US dollars, which is a 500x or a 50,000% increase. Of course, this was the winning pick back then. No one on earth would have been able to tell you that that valuation would ever be possible with Bitcoin and accurately prove it. Like all other cryptocurrencies, if you were to put $100 into some of them today, I would not be able to tell you which ones will do the exact same thing. The fact or the point that you need to understand is that it is possible. So structuring your investment, even if it's only $100, matters, because it could be the difference between a 500x or nothing. This is where I throw my opinion into the mix. Investing into something like Bitcoin with only $100 really isn't worth it anymore. If Bitcoin's market cap were to hit $10 trillion, which would be about a 10x at the time of recording this video, you would make a 10x. So 100, 10x, you're gonna be left with $1,000. Great, it's a nice little profit, but the amount of work and effort and time that's gonna pass for Bitcoin to hit that $10 trillion market cap, in my opinion, is going to be a long time. So for a 10x on your $100 investment, it's probably not worth that investment. You could pick or use your money more wisely to make better returns, because you're essentially going to take a punt That's how I would word it. Take a punt on a coin or a token that has the potential to absolutely skyrocket. For this type of investment, picking a single coin or token that has really good fundamentals but hasn't yet made its way into the big leagues, which big leagues I would say top 50 listed on CoinMarketCap as an example, that is where I would be putting my money. Something that is below that but has really good insights. A few examples come to mind for an investment like this, and they are Engine Coin, VIDT Datalink, Utrust, and Phantasma. I actually hold 2 of them. I'm going to talk about one of them very shortly. All 4 of these projects, just as the example, all have really good fundamentals and relatively low market caps. Except for Engine Coin, that has gone absolutely crazy. I'm going to talk a bit more about that one. That's the one I'm going to talk about in a minute. If you are the type of person who's eager to do lots of research into multiple projects, I would be looking for one that is trying to solve a problem that you can see having an impact on the problem they're trying to solve in the future. VeChain comes to mind as the example for this kind of mentality around these types of projects, because the product they are trying to create is trying to solve a global problem. And that's why I invested in them personally. I see the potential that this project has in the long term. And to conclude this $100 bracket, I would not be day trading with $100. You are going to lose that money. It is going to be withered away. It is going to be taken in the form of transaction fees, the tax that you owe on the money that you make if you do make any, and the market going up and down significantly. This is my honest opinion. I would not day trade with $100 unless you really wanted to gamble it away. Okay, second bracket, $1,000. How are you going to invest $1,000 into crypto? Well, the story changes a little bit, but not that much. I'm going to explode my thoughts onto the camera because there are multiple ways you can break this up, and I'll consolidate them at the end of this bracket. At this point, I would consider investing into multiple coins, tokens, or projects, but keep it to a maximum of 3. With $1,000, the projects that you choose to invest in could really be anything on the platform, because now you're talking, if you were to invest in Bitcoin, for example, and we said earlier that 10x, you're not just making a small return. Like $1,000 is a great return, but it's not life-changing. Whereas $10,000, you're going from 1,000, 10x to 10,000, it's not pocket change. It definitely could impact your life, probably in a small way, but not in the type of way that would be insignificant. So any coin is now up for grabs. For long-term growth, let's say you found some really good projects that you were really interested in investing in and you withered it down to like a top 3, you could break up that $1,000 across those top 3 and hold them for the next 5 to 10 years and see where they take you. This would be a good way to get a little bit of diversification, holding a couple of different coins or tokens, and if they were to rise significantly, you would make a couple of $1,000 at the minimum, which would be pretty sweet. The same goes for the big players, where you could invest something like half into 2 of the coins in the top 50, maybe closer down towards number 50, where they could again multiply by multiples of like 10. Realistically, VeChain, if it hits $1, is going to be a 20x. So for a $500 investment, you'd make 10 grand. It's not an insignificant amount of money, and lots of people have faith in those projects. Therefore, over time, they should steadily increase in value. They're just ideas though. The way you divvy this $1,000 could be done in many different ways. I myself have actually recently invested into 3 much smaller coins, being VeChain Thor, which is VeChain's baby coin, VIDT Datalink, and Engine Coin. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about Engine Coin because it's relevant to this video right now. If you're watching, pay attention because this is going to be important. The reason why I decided to invest in Engine Coin is because on March 19th of 2021, the team behind the project at Engine Coin are releasing their game called Age of Rust. This game looks interesting enough, and hopefully it isn't a massive flop, but here's the interesting thing. The way that they are trying to draw players in is they have a massive prize pool for people who play the game and successfully complete the tasks within the game. What is this prize pool, you ask of? It's Bitcoin, and not a small amount of Bitcoin. It is a very significant amount of Bitcoin, and I believe it will drag people onto the platform to actually play this game, which in turn should drive the price of Engine Coin up. Just for context, the biggest prize to be awarded to a single player in this game when they complete the game, they actually win it, are going to get 20 Bitcoin, which at the time of recording this video is worth approximately $1 million. this is going to get attention. This investment absolutely is a gamble, because if the game sucks and it flops, the crypto could tank. There are other reasons why it has good fundamentals and potential growth opportunities, but if the game really sucks, it might tank hard. Whereas if this game becomes the next Fortnite, a lot of people who hold this coin are potentially going to make a lot of money. I have to say potentially. I believe that they are potentially going to make a lot of money. There is also so much more that the team behind Enjin Coin are trying to achieve and accomplish, so I highly encourage you to go do some reading, do some research into what they are exactly trying to do, because I'm kind of deviating from what the topic of today's video is, but I wanted to throw it in there. This is an actual opportunity for a lot of people. Even if you want to play the game, pay attention, watch the space and see what happens, because on March 19th, it's going to be an interesting week. I also want to just quickly say I am not sponsored and have not been paid whatsoever by any of these coins. These are just coins that I believe in. That's why I have chosen to invest in them. Overall, for this $1,000 bracket, I wouldn't just lump sum it all into Bitcoin or Ethereum. I would be looking to diversify into about 3 coins, which aren't necessarily the biggest players, but anywhere from maybe number 10 to number 100 listed on CoinMarketCap, just as a reference. That would give you a good spread, but not spread yourself too thinly by investing into too many. And finally, with $10,000, what would I do? Now, at this point, you have a significant amount of money to play with. You also have a significant amount of money to lose. This is where I would be considering taking at least half of that money and putting it into one of the top 20 projects, maybe top 10, and leaving it there for the long term. If it were to rise significantly, you would get to enjoy that reward and not miss out on that sweet, sweet FOMO, because you would be riding the wave. And then to diversify with that other half of that $5,000, I would be putting at least $1,000 into 5 cryptocurrencies. Again, do your research similar to the previous bracket. Pick cryptocurrencies or projects that you truly believe in and put $1,000 into each of them, because this is where the smaller market cap, the projects that haven't proven themselves yet, could potentially bring you significant returns for an investment of only $1,000. By doing this, you will get a relatively good spread and diversification across the projects that you choose to invest in, and some will be prone to rise significantly but at a higher risk, and you will be a part of some of the most ambitious and exciting projects on the platform today. And when it comes to day trading with this type of money, look, if you're watching this video for an analytical breakdown of how you could buy into very particular cryptocurrencies and day trade them and make a fat profit quickly, don't do it at all whatsoever. Unless you live and breathe these charts, unless you are studying the logistics behind how day trading works and you have experience in it, I wouldn't recommend it. Your best bet is to buy into cryptocurrencies that you actually believe in, projects that you think have the potential to skyrocket based on their fundamentals, and hold them for the long term. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility to come to your own conclusion about what you choose to invest in. Make sure that you do your research, because cryptocurrency is such a volatile asset class to invest in. And with that being said, I am not a financial advisor. I am a random dude talking about topics that I find interesting on the internet. Make sure that you do your own research. Don't be reckless. Be smart and only invest money you are willing to lose. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope I made you think about how you could structure these investments. Make sure that you turn on bell notifications and are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the videos I bring out over forever, because I'm doing this forever now. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.